episode of Can I Really Make That? This table desk from Robert van Embricqs has been spamming me, you, and everybody in the planet all over our feeds, and if you haven't seen it yet, you probably live on Mars. Point is that we are gonna remake it. I do not even know if to classify this as furniture or art. It's literally so smart. This guy is literally a genius. I hope that I honor him and not offend him trying to remake this, but yeah, we are trying it. We are going to be using a bunch of 3x3s for the vertical lines of the table because I absolutely do not trust you or me to make perfectly straight lines. And then one very heavy piece of wood. I got something like 3 centimeters thick because I wanted to be sure that once we're going to make all the 1,000 little holes on the side to connect it to the wall, this thing is going to hold. So yeah. The base of our desk is basically a half circle, and we are going to use our technique with rope and a piece of tape to simply calculate how to make that happen. So what we're going to be doing is take out your measure tape and find what is the perfect exact center of your piece of wood. At that point, you put a little piece of string on the center, it tied to a pencil, and draw half on the right, half on the left, and it's going to be the perfect half circle. It's literally such a good trick for anything, even when you want to paint on a wall. Now, once we have this, I had to calculate, and this I did it maybe 30 times because every time I was wrong, how I wanted this table to grow. At the end, what I decided to do is to start with 3 centimeters every time I was growing up, only for the first 4, and then after that I did 3 of 2 centimeters and then continued with 1 so that the arch could become more pleasant and less curvy on the top. I don't know how to describe this, but like always, you're going to have the plans on my Patreon if you want to download that. But this is more or less the look that you're going to have at the end. One important thing to know is that now the top part is going to be rounded because we are growing with the same amount of sticks, but this has to become straight. So I'm taking the shortest of all the sticks, that is the external one, and drawing a straight line on the top so that I'm sure that I can cut them all straight. I'm going to be cutting this at the end, so don't get confused for the entire time of the tutorial. This is going to stay as it is, but we are going to cut it at the end. Okay, after doing way too much calculations, it is finally time to take out your jigsaw and cut it all out. Cut. Once you take all this part out and you put again the sticks where they should be, you can see that the drawing literally appears in front of you. At this point, we have this beautiful sculpture over here. I am gonna go and play it safe and write A, B, B, C, C, and connect every stick to the place where it has to go again after I finish this. And then we're putting hinges on. This is what a hinge is. Time to go and add all the hinges, and I had to do this in a very weird position so to be sure not to break them. I wanted them to fall to the front, and that's why I'm keeping this in the corner of a table while putting them so that then I can put the second stick, the second part, so the sticks directly on it. You always have to make a tiny hole before you put your screw, otherwise the wood is gonna pop in half while you try to put your screws inside. And as you can see, I repeated this for the entire length of my table, all the way to the other side, and at the end it looks incredible. And it looks like this. What we're gonna be doing now is put one super long 1 meter screw basically going all the way inside so that this ones get stuck all at the same height, and that's gonna create that beautiful archy effect that falls on the front without making this ones fall forward every single time you try to open your desk. On the picture here on the right, you can see that the top part of our table, the connection up here, actually also has one little bend. I decided to do that with 2 legs instead of 1 because I'm too scared of this falling and it's too much work to get it lost. So first we cut that on both sides. Here I'm literally measuring, I think it was 4 centimeters to leave on the top and then cut them straight. I am using 2 sticks instead of 1, so it's different from the original one, but I really don't want this to break. And again, we're adding hinges also on the top. This time it's going to be in the opposite direction because we want to fold it away from the wall. And this is literally how it looks at the end. You see, they fold forward, and this is why we have the flexibility on the sides of the table to open this without scraping the wall. I think that's the best way to describe it. Finally, once you have all this set, you decide where to make your holes. I made them on the wood, and automatically I had a mark on where I had them on the wall. And finally, it's time to put this long metal string in the spot that we need to make it straight. What is this metal string? I will explain it very easily. This is what helps the wood not to fall on your head, not the two parts that we screwed to the wall, but the center ones that they fall like a little bit of a rainbow on top of you. This is how they stay in line and they don't fall. I'm cutting now the straight line that is not straight anymore because now it looks like an arch that we did at the beginning. Before we go any further, it's time to go and thank all my Patreon subscribers, and like always, I'm putting the name of all of you inside the creations that I'm building. Also, if you want the plans, drawings, and all tips about the builds, you can go and subscribe over
Thank you, Danny Richmond, and thank you, Janine Anna Dunn, thank you, Anais L, thank you, Erica Spooner, thank you, Shahara Shams, thank you, Layla, thank you, Kismet Sarkin, thank you, Asia, thank you, Shalom, thank you, Sorry, I love you guys. Okay, what are we doing now? Finally, we are connecting the two dots that we did at the beginning. This is what you would see that in most of the tutorials that you see online, they did it with a router on the side so that the metal string would fall inside. But as you know, I like to do all the tutorial with the most basic equipment possible. So I invented this technique where instead of making a hole in every single piece of wood that would require something like 10-12 hours, we're just doing it with a string on the back.
That looks so cool! All we're missing to do is one hole here in the middle. That's gonna be where we put our finger inside to open this desk, and then we're hanging this bad boy. Now, you know that I don't like to ask help to anyone and that I usually do the entire tutorials alone, but you are gonna need somebody else to hang this on the wall because otherwise it's gonna break in your hands. What we're gonna do is actually go and insert this super long metal line, it's 1 meter, inside rails, trails, paths, whatever it is that we created on the back. In this way, they're never gonna fall too much forward. So let's hang it and let's do that.
This was probably the hardest part of the full tutorial. This desk was literally so heavy because it's made of full wood, and I wanted this to be super resistant and not to die with time. And then I needed totally my husband to help me and hold the table in place. As I was passing with the metal inside the strings that we put on the back of our desk. Again, in the original one, there is no strings on the back. The hole is made directly on the wood beams, so the 3x3s that we bought. As we want to make this the most easy and remakeable possible, that's what I did.
So another video is done. I hope you guys had fun. The only thing that is left after showing you that this thing actually works is going ahead and painting it, but I'm not gonna do that just because I'm gonna let my Patreon subscribers vote what color to make it because I'm gonna put it in my new apartment and I totally want to fit my crazy vibe. Do not forget to subscribe if you have not done it yet, and let's go see the results.
I want to be honest with you guys, and I probably wanted to give up maybe 100 times while doing this tutorial, but it finally worked. I was so excited. I literally needed to test this even with my computer on top and see if it was holding weight, and it totally did. This is from the back, the part that you do not see at all, and all it's missing is to have a fresh paint on it. I don't know if to make it blue or to leave it in wood. I have no idea what color to paint it in, and that's why I'm letting you guys vote before I'm doing it. But I'm totally happy and super excited of the result. This was such a challenge. See you totally next week.